So I wanted to share with you guys like my experience with getting all four of my wisdom teeth taken out. I feel like my experience and sharing my experience could like help others. So I figured I'll just do like, make a bunch of videos about, my experience and so like as far as getting my wisdom teeth taken out, like I was not told like when I was younger that I needed to get them out. Um, so, like, maybe it's because I didn't really go to good dentists, like, I'm not really sure, but I was only told to get my wisdom teeth taken out, like, maybe in the last, like, 5, 6 years, and I'm 36, so, I also went a long period of time not going to the dentist, not so much out of fear, but more out of, like, financially, I couldn't really do it, so I was kinda, like, in that, like, in between of, like, I don't make enough to get health insurance, and then I'm not poor enough to get the free health insurance. It was really complicated, but so anyways, but over the years, I would get, like, really, really bad, like, jaw infections, like, in the back where, not so much the top, but just it's always, like, on the bottom, like, I had an infection here to the point where I couldn't even open my jaw. It was just so painful, so fatigued too, and then, one side, I was just like I just kept getting abscesses, um so about a year ago, um, I started going to the dentist again because, I was in that position to where I'm a student, so I can get, like, the free health insurance, um and then I paid for another health insurance on top of that, a dental insurance, so I can go to a better dentist because a lot of the free ones are not really that nice to you. But anyways, um, so I went to Lilac Family Dental, and it's really funny. They actually have a comedian that went there and like did some funny bit there. It's Preacher Lawson. He was on America's Got Talent, and I can post the link to that video. What happened at the dentist office? It's really funny. So the dentist office I went to, the dentist that owns it, co-owns it. Her husband owns a comedy club in the area where I'm at. So, but anyways, yeah, so I went to the dentist and I had like really, really old fillings from when I was like 10 that like never were redone. So I got all those redone and everything like that. And then on top of that, the dentist recommended me to get my wisdom teeth out. And she showed me on the pictures like my wisdom teeth on the bottom, my bottom jaw on the right and the left. Um, I thought actually more my right side, was not as, like, impacted, than this side. So this side was definitely impacted and, like, more than the other, but it was still kinda sticking out. So, so the dentist recommended that I get my wisdom teeth taken out, and of course I was terrified to get that because 'cause I've never had surgery and I've never had stitches before either. So, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone like that, like, it was just too overwhelming. So I was like, "No, I can't get it done." Like I came up with every excuse in the book why I shouldn't get it done, and I can't, and just making all these like fearful, anxious excuses of why I can't get it done. When someone mentioned putting an IV in my arm and going under, oh, that really that scared me even more. It's like I'm definitely not doing that. Um, So my dentist recommended me to go to it was some periodontal office like down the road from me. And I went there. It was like kind of an awful experience. It was just a consultation. So my dentist gave me this it like they like she wrote which teeth are impacted and my wisdom teeth, and then she like wrote like getting like a consultation from this referral she's giving me. So I go there and it was really weird. Like they said they didn't take my insurance and then I have to pay $100, but then my dentist said you shouldn't have to pay anything for a consultation, but then sometimes they charge you, so it was kind of misleading with that. Um So when I get there, it's actually a guy, a male oral surgeon, which I'm not exactly against, but the guy was really weird. Like, um, just like, well, so there was the whole insurance thing, and then it turns out I didn't have to pay for the consultation because my insurance did cover it after all. And I have like three insurances. It's complicated. Like I have a free one, and then I have a one that I pay monthly for, a low fee for, and just so I can go to better places. And but anyways, so when I was there, um the dental assistant that called me back, like she was wearing like cute like Space Jam like scrubs and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But then I was like really nervous going back, and so I waited in the chair, and then well before that she actually took X-rays like of my wisdom teeth and everything like that, and so I thought she was kind of rude actually, like very pushy and rude and angry. And so when the oral surgeon came in, he like looked at my x-rays, and then like I thought the x-ray that they had on the screen in the room wasn't even mine. Like I thought it was someone else's. And prior to me going back to sitting in the chair and getting the consultation and examination, it was actually a woman like crying and like pacing in the office. So she went back before me, and then maybe she sat in that chair, and then like so I sit in the chair and I'm not crying and I'm not emotional. So then the oral surgeon comes in and he's like, um when he says he's like, oh, you're not as upset as you should be. It's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I should be crying? Like, I it was just the weirdest thing. I think that's what he said. I think he said, like, "Oh, you're not as upset as," like, maybe comparing me to somebody else. And then the X-rays in the room, it didn't even look like my teeth. Like I thought it was someone else's. So like I thought maybe they're confusing me with the lady prior. Um, so like it was very quick. The guy was like kind of hyper and kind of weird, and I didn't feel right about it at all. And my dentist was insisting on me going to this place, and um, so it turns out that the whole procedure to get all four taken out at once would have been like $900, which is, pretty reasonable for four teeth, and two of them are impacted. And I don't know. He said the oral surgeon says something about like cutting into my jaw and like kind of getting a little graphic with, he's just explaining what he's doing, so I get it. But just that weird remark of like, oh, you should be more upset than you should be, something weird like that. Like, just rubbed me the wrong way. Um, so I saw reviews of the place too. So like I actually thought like, okay, it's not that bad. Like the referral I got, and they have reviews of like 4.5 and up. So they have like multiple offices, and what ended up happening was, okay, so I think I asked like a few questions, and um I think that he's so they have the option of like you could be put under, so you get like an IV and you just lay there, and which I would never do because it's like I don't know what people are doing to my body like when I'm not like awake. I know that sounds really weird, but I think they said with like a lot of fear of going to the doctor and dentist, it's like you don't feel like you're in control. So it's like that will definitely like definitely won't make me feel in control. And so they gave me the option of like, so they gave me the option of being put under, getting lidocaine. It's not Novocaine anymore, it's lidocaine, and laughing gas. So like I can either be put under, and um, I think I'd be put under, and I would get like numbing medicine too, lidocaine, and then I could be awake for it and get laughing gas and lidocaine, or I could just get lidocaine. And so for me, I gag pretty easily. So like, especially, my wisdom teeth are in the back, right? So it's like touching the back of my throat, like makes me gag pretty easily. So I'm like, So I thought laughing gas and getting lidocaine was like the best option, and I think again, I think that was like $900, but I forgot what the price was with being put under, but it was probably like maybe a few $100s more. And then they also had this other option of an add-on of I think it's like a newer technique where so people fear that they're gonna get like dry socket. So like so you don't usually get it on the top from what I heard. It's more like if it's down here. So like they take the wisdom teeth out and then like if you don't do what they suggest, like, not drink from a straw and a few other things, you can get dry socket. So so it's basically like it's not clotting, like you get your teeth out and then it's dry, it's supposed to heal and form a blood clot, and then if it doesn't, it gets very dry and it can be painful. So I did have a fear of that, but so I had this option of like you could take some of your own blood and like take a little bit of it and actually put it in the socket and sew it up. So your own blood would essentially clot, and I mean it's all your own blood, but like you would clot a lot faster and you wouldn't have to worry about, dry socket. And I was like, definitely don't want to do that, but supposedly I think the dental assistant like put it in for me to get that, and I said I didn't want that, and she like didn't change it. And then she was like really pushy about the appointment and excuse me. So I didn't feel good about this place, and I was like, so I did make an appointment and I canceled. It was like only like 2 months later. So I went like November, December area, like, time frame. So then the appointment would have been like a month later in January, which would have been bad timing because there could have been snowstorms and everything like that. So I decided, so then I got another cleaning at the same dental office, and then at the Lilac Family Dental office, and they were just saying you should go to this place, go to like kept pushing for me to go to this place, and I told them I wasn't feeling good about it, so I was like, screw it, I'm not gonna listen to them. I'm gonna go find another oral surgeon. So I started looking for another oral surgeon in my area, and around the time that there's like no snow or like snowstorms. So this is around um let's see. So I got it done. I got the procedure actually done in May. So I think it was like I think it was like the end of February. I think I started like looking again for, another oral surgeon. So I came across let's see. So, I mean, I don't exactly want to give out her name, the oral surgeon. I'm just looking at documentation I have here. For the place. Let's see. I just want to give you the name of the place. I think it's Allen's Creek Oral Surgeon. So they're in a ritzy area. I kind of like that. I like the area that it was in, and it was a woman that would do the oral surgery, not a male, which not against males, but just this one was just weird. So so I decided to go through her. Um so I did the consultation with her. Her name is Heather. Um and she's actually not from America. I like that she's Canadian, and she had a lot of credentials, like really good reviews, and everybody likes going to her, and she's very gentle and she explains things too. So, um, well, from what the reviews say, and then when I got my consultation, I got my consultation. I didn't feel really scared about it there. Like she was like really pretty and like thin, and like her office was nice, and there wasn't any like weird males there. Not against males, it's just that was just a weird experience. It didn't rub me the right way. So I went to her. She looked at my teeth, and she explained to me that I can just get one wisdom tooth out at a time or all of them at a time. But then I was like, "Why don't I just do the top?" And then she's like, "Well, if you do the, if you," or I just said, "What if I just did the problematic, wisdom teeth on the bottom?" And she's like, "Well, if you do that, you have your top wisdom teeth that will grind down your gums. So it's like when you bite down, you're biting on your gums." So I was like, I think I should just get the whole thing done because I'm not going to probably have any other time to really do it. Um, because eventually I'm not gonna be living with my roommate, so I'm gonna be getting my own place. So it's like I don't really have anybody in this area that can like come over and help me and drive me there. Um, so what ended up happening was, so I decided to get all four out. Um, and so supposedly the two top were fully out. Didn't really have to worry about impaction there. And then down here they were like partially impacted, so that was good. So I wasn't too worried about, anything weird going on, or like, like maybe they're like really deep roots or whatever. Um so I got like three options. And she's very organized with the paperwork she gives you, of like, what are the options and what to do before, during, and after the procedure, which was great because the other place didn't do that. And then the other place was actually saying you can eat, if you do go on laughing gas, like well, you can eat light, and it's like, from what I heard, it's not good to eat at all before the procedure, but I'll go into that later. Um, so anyways, the price varied of what like how much it would cost to get all four out. So the first option I believe was like 1800, and that's just like just lidocaine. Like that's it. Like no laughing gas, you're not put under. So then the third option, or the second option, was lidocaine and laughing gas. So that was around $2,000, doubled from the other place, but I felt like this place would be a lot better than the other one, so I was willing to pay more. And then the third option was like 3,200, and that's like, um, that's being put under, and I definitely didn't want to do that. Like, just, I've never drawn blood, and I never will. I'll do everything but get blood or veins poked. So, so anyways, I eventually ended up going with Heather, the oral surgeon, and made the appointment, and went over everything, asked like a bazillion questions, and felt good about it, even though I was still really nervous about getting it, like, because I've never had surgery or never had stitches before. So I went with the second option, which was, I don't think I think yeah. So it was lidocaine and laughing gas. Um, so that was like $2,000, and I was like, I didn't want to be put under, and I just thought like the laughing gas would help with like anxiety and the with pain too. Um, so yeah, so that was basically how everything went, as far as like going to the dentist, getting the referral, and then getting the consultation. Um, so yeah, so I end up making the appointment for like, I think like a month or two later, and then yeah, so I will end the video here, and then in the next video I'll talk about the day of the procedure, and then after that I'll talk about um the healing and all of that. So yeah, so I hope this video kind of helps, and I hope the other ones I plan to do will help as well. And yeah, so this will be like a video series, so I'll see you in the next videos.